Hi, I'm Anthony Berger, Scout Executive of the Chattahoochee Council, and this month we're going to talk about discipline in scouting. Now is about the time of year where most of our packs and Boy Scout troops are accepting new families, and this is a perfect time to address discipline in your pack or your troop. There are 4 simple steps to follow to help address this issue if your pack or troop hasn't already. The first and foremost is actually prevention. And it goes along with the Boy Scout motto, to be prepared. Make sure that your den meetings and pack meetings are well planned. Make sure that you have crafts, games, hands-on activities that are purposeful and follow the Cub Scout Advancement Program. Keeping boys engaged and involved will make sure that will help reduce your behavior issues and discipline problems. For Boy Scout troops, that simply means making sure that the youth leadership in your troop, your patrol leaders, assistant patrol leaders, are the ones who are planning, developing, and executing your troop meetings. This makes sure that their program that they're involved in is being delivered properly, but also greatly reduces the behavior problems found in a troop. The second is making sure that your pack or troop has what's called a code of conduct. Now, what you call it isn't as important as how it's developed. In a Cub Scout pack, it's usually done in a den. And at a den meeting, the boys are participants in developing the behaviors that are acceptable and the behaviors that are not going to be accepted during den or pack meetings. For a Boy Scout troop, this could easily be done within a patrol meeting led by the patrol leader, in identifying the behaviors that a scout should be conducting himself by and the things that he shouldn't be doing. Having the boys involved in the rule setting and setting the expectations upon themselves helps reinforce when you have discipline issues or behavior problems within your unit. The third is to have a predetermined course of action that adult leaders follow when there are discipline issues and predetermined consequences for breaking the code of conduct. Now, most scout units I've seen actually have a 3 strikes you're out type of rule, where at first, if the scout breaks a rule or breaks the code of conduct, he's given a verbal warning, referencing that this is in violation of the code of conduct in which he had a part in setting. The second is if the boy continues that behavior in the same meeting, then you get the parent involved. If the parent is actually at the meeting, you ask the parent to have a conversation with their son about their behavior, and if their behavior continues, it will lead to further disciplinary actions. Or if the parent is not there, a phone call stating the same thing. If the behavior continues, and this is the 3rd time in the same meeting that you're having to address a behavior issue with the scout, it is perfectly appropriate to ask that scout to leave. Calling their parents and asking them to pick them up early from a troop or pack meeting sends a strong message to the rest of the parents and to the children, scouts in your program that there are consequences to misbehaving. The fourth and final thing to consider, and what I like to think is the most fun, is to reinforce positive behavior. In fact, you'll find that you'll have much better results and much less discipline issues or behavior problems in your pack or troop if you come up with a workable plan of how to reward positive behavior. There's a couple things that I've seen that work well, and this actually can work in a Cub Scout pack or a Boy Scout troop. The first is a discipline candle, and whatever you call it isn't as important of how it works. The candle is lit at the beginning of the meeting. If someone misbehaves during the course of the meeting, that boy has to go and blow the candle out. Now, the idea is that when the candle burns all the way down, there's a predetermined reward that follows. For example, if the candle burns all the way down, the boys will receive a pizza party at the next meeting. Another item that I saw that worked very well is a bead recognition program. Essentially, when a scout shows up to a meeting, he's given an opportunity to earn 3 different beads. The first bead is if he's in full uniform. The second bead is for bringing his scout handbook to the meeting. The third bead is a good behavior bead, and that bead's given to him assuming that he's going to be on his best behavior. If during the course of the meeting he misbehaves, he has to return that bead back to one of the adult leaders. At the end of the meeting, all the beads are placed into a jar. When the jar is filled, then that predetermined reward is given. Again, as our example before, perhaps it's a pizza party or something else that the scouts had a hand in deciding. So those are 4 steps in helping address discipline and behavior issues within your scout program. Making sure, first of all, that you're prepared, having a code of conduct, setting predetermined consequences and courses of action that adult leaders follow when there are behavior issues, and lastly, and most importantly, is reinforcing good behavior. Make sure you catch your scouts doing something good. At this time, I'd like to hear from you. What does your unit do to help address discipline issues within your scouting program? Please post your comments on our Facebook page. I look forward to your comments and seeing what your scouts do and what your unit does to address scouting discipline, and I look forward to talking with you again next month. Thank you.